I haven't had a chance to give my thoughts on Money in the Bank and who came out with the briefcases this past weekend. I think it's a pretty seamless kind of consensus that Naomi was the right choice when it came to the women's side. I'm in agreement here that she's killing it right now. She absolutely is in the position to be a future world champion, especially as she kind of talks about the limited time she has left when it comes to wrestling. So I think that she immediately gets boosted by having the briefcase, and there's a ton of possibilities and directions you could go when it comes to Naomi. I did have Roxanne winning this just because I thought that TKO was kind of infusing the young blood, but it doesn't seem that's necessarily where they're going either. So I like Naomi. On the men's side, though, I think there was one of three guys that I legitimately had walking away with the case at this point. If I'm being honest, I think LA Knight was a possibility. I think that Seth Rollins was always in play. And then there was this long shot where El Grande Americano could actually win the title, and we might pay attention. But they went the safe route with Seth Rollins, which I'm okay with. I don't think that always the vanilla choice is always the wrong choice. I think it's going to play into a longer story here. I think we are building towards the era of Braun Breaker, and I think we will look back and see this as that first chapter. I think it's a little bit silly when the IWC overreacts to vanilla choices and they call them negative, because if there's one thing I've learned, it's not to overreact to these stories until we get to the end and we're able to see them kind of as a full story and what the Seth Rollins win means in the bigger picture. I would have loved for El Grande Americano to win the briefcase, but ultimately, I don't know where that leads if you're WWE. I don't know what you can do with that. I think the better play with El Grande is I'd like to see El Grande Americano win the AAA championship. I think that would be fun. I think it gives a lot of people a reason to watch AAA wrestling, and I think it would piss off the IWC, which might be my new favorite thing to do on a weekly basis. But LA Knight seemed to be the favorite going into the match. I think maybe that was a little too obvious at this point. And like I said, I think Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank is kind of a de facto way to get to Braun Breaker being champion. You might have to stick with me on that mindset, but I do believe that's where we're headed. If I had to guess right now, if I just had to throw out there when Braun Breaker could be the world heavyweight champion, I think at WrestleMania 42, we could easily see Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the world heavyweight championship. I do believe that is a big possibility to see that as one of the marquee matches. But I think it's silly how quickly the IWC turns on Seth Rollins when he gets on a hot streak. They love him. It's like this, the IWC loves when guys are down. They love Seth Rollins when he's getting beat down and he's being held down by, TKO and shit like that. But the reality is I think that the IWC just really loves losers.